Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Hope and the Truth. It's been a little while. I wanted to do one final show before we head off to the Philippines. As you know, as always, we're here to tell how we were saved by Jesus and share our testimony. So with me today, and it's taken me a while, and I had to come all the way to California to get the testimony. Ms. Cherie, thank you for joining us.
Hi. So I had a crazy life, and while I was growing up, my parents, they were really protected, and just really protected. I couldn't stay the night. I had no family's house. So protected that when I turned 18, I ended up doing the opposite and just not listening to my parents and just doing my own thing. Just going on into the world, just going to different areas, doing bad decisions and hanging out with the wrong kind of people. I got into drugs at 18 years old for my first time, right after graduation, a day after. And I did pretty much everything, mostly ecstasy, methadone, coke, all that. And it's just crazy. And then I ended up just going back and forth, going home and then moving back home, going home for a month, and then I'll go back out in the streets again. And it's crazy how my life just took me to a crazy life experience. But I'm actually glad that it took me there because I learned a lot from these things. So while growing up during I'm actually 29 years old. I started being out in the streets at 18 years old. So I've been off the streets for a year already. So I'm actually done and experienced all the hard times out in the streets. So exactly 1 year since I've been off, so I'm so excited. I'm doing good.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's a great thing.
So me being out in the streets, I learned a lot how life is. It's so different out there. It's not what you think it is. It's just really crazy. I never thought that people are actually act like animals out there, and I actually started to act like an animal myself because I didn't eat right and take care of myself, and I felt like I was a chipmunk. It's crazy, but it's really weird, how that the world, it could just overpower you like that, and the darkness could just take over you, and you can actually get stuck in the bubble and can't come out till 10 years later. It's crazy how that feeling is, but it took me to realize that, to go to jail, to actually wake up and smell the coffee and actually realize that I'm doing things wrong and everything. So through those 10 years, I ended up out in the streets. I actually was hanging out in the river dam, in the tunnels. And I used to always go down there and hang out with people. And I ended up getting flushed away. And one night when it was raining, the water took me. I'm surprised I came out alive. I'm surprised I didn't drown. I was so blessed and lucky that God didn't take me, and just so blessed and grateful that I'm still alive from today. And that water was really powerful. It took me from the tunnels to all the way to the other end, and I had to climb up a big old hill. It was crazy, the feeling.
I remember you had mentioned something to me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
When you were in the street, there was a person.
Yes.
And you'd kind of seen this later on, or you had talked about this later on, and you would ask people about this person, well, who are you talking about? You had said there was always this individual that was always around, and it was your angel.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Can you tell a little about that?
Yes. This angel, he'll come protect me when I'm in danger, and he'll just come out of nowhere, and he'll always protect me, and I always feel protected out in the streets when I'm out in the streets. It's I felt that good vibe, that vibe, or that good vibe from I felt so protected that I had a lot of good vibes towards everything, toward I felt like God was watching over me and just protecting me wherever I went. And so this person just came and protected me at the right times when I was in danger, or when my ex-boyfriend used to bully me. All he did is to put me down and call me names, and I put up with it every single day. I didn't want him to be the winner. I wanted to be the winner. So in order to face it and face my fears and not let people do that, like hurt my feelings, I have to face it in order to learn through that. So this guy will always protect me and tell me, you don't want to be here. You need to go home. And everybody will actually warn me and they'll guide me, try to guide me to go home. And I always, when I'm going halfway home, I turn around, I can't. And I'll just try to go back the other way. And then that'll happen again. They'll try to guide me and go, like, you gotta go home, you gotta take the bus home. And then I'll turn it back on, like, no, I can't go home. It's just weird. It's not time for me to go home yet. It's just thinking to myself, it's not time for me to go home. Something's telling me that it's not time until one day, the guy that his name was Angel, he actually said, God send my people home. And that next day, my mom came, and that was the time for me to go home. It was like really beautiful.
That's great. And now you have a great relationship with your mom, though. It's funny, a lot of times people don't understand to look at someone else's experience and they go, well, how can God be real if they had to go through that? But you summed it up very nicely, which is you had to go through all that to understand the purpose of your life and to see the darkness. You had to walk through darkness to understand light.
Yes.
And so you have a different relationship with your mom now. How close are you guys now after going through all that?
I didn't know my mom. I actually thought she was a stranger to me. I actually hanged out with somebody that's my ex-best friend, and I actually worshipped him. It's crazy. Like, it's weird. Wow. And I didn't even know my mom. It's crazy. And until, he went his own way, it's like I actually got to know my mom, and I guess people, he was trying to keep me away from my family and just to get to know my mom, and I didn't give my mom a chance. And then to, actually bond with her and love her and everything. It's just, everything's so different.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how everybody was just guiding me to go home. Just that guidance, I felt a lot of guidance. Just, just telling me there's no reason for you to be out here. It's bad out here. I was at the point I got really, really sick, and I didn't take care of myself. I didn't eat for days. I felt really shaky, my whole body. I'll be going to a little church, and I'll be shaking because my stomach was hurting so bad I felt sick. And my ex-boyfriend would come out of nowhere, why are you letting yourself go like that? And then right there, that's where somebody died in that same area. I felt like my life was going to end. It's crazy. But and it's just, I was at the point that I'm surprised I'm still alive. Because when I rode my bike everywhere, I almost got, car almost ran me over at least over 10 times, 15 times. Or I'll fall on the sidewalk and hit my head on the sidewalk hard by going somewhere that's not safe. With this person, I know it's danger. So what happened, I hit my head real hard before I even went to that person. That was like a sign, a dangerous sign.
Jesus has a plan for you. That's why you start to see that your life has a purpose. Even your testimony reaches people and they hear it and they go, I'm going through stuff. There's hope. That's what it shows, that we can be in a hopeless situation, and that's oftentimes what people miss, is that when you're going through different situations, there's hope. It's very easy when everything seems to be going right to say, you can have faith. It's different when you're going through darkness and to say, look, you don't have to stay there. There's hope at the end of that tunnel, and we often...
And that's what I felt. The tunnels was so dark. It was completely dark, and I got out of the tunnel. It's completely light. It's crazy. And it's just crazy how it was I got out of darkness. I went in there darkness. Got out of darkness, and I came out of light. And so it's amazing how everything was wow. That's crazy. It's amazing.
What would be the best thing that you would tell a person? What's the best advice if you could sum it up in a line? What would be your message for someone that's struggling?
Just to there's a lot of wild people, a lot of people out there, and just have to be people are just out there just to scare people, and they talk all loud just to scare you away because they're marking their territory. And I used to want to curious why they're doing that. So I was just wondering so it took me a while. So I faced my fears, and I just kept on walking towards that person, and just smile at that person. Hi, how are you? And let them know that I'm not scared of them, and just keep on going and keep on going forward, and everything will be fine. And you just have to keep on going forward and not be scared of it and walk away from it. just face it. You have to face your fears. It's really important to face your fears, because if you don't face your fears, everything would just be a nightmare. It's horrible. You're just always feeling that darkness, and it's a really horrible feeling.
Well, thank you for coming on and sharing your story. It's a blessing. God bless you. Guys, thank you for tuning in before we leave for the Philippines. You're going to be getting more testimonies from over there, so keep on spending time with us. Thank you, Cherie, for sharing with everyone. And until next time, give your life to Jesus Christ. We'll see you next time on Hope and the Truth. God bless.